everybody, Charles for HumbleMechanic.com. This is episode 38 of the Humble Mechanic Podcast. As you have already figured out, you guys are riding along with me in the car today. This is my 2005 Passat wagon. I've had it actually like 8 times longer than I've ever owned any car in my life. It's crazy. But anyway, this show is not about my Passat. Today I want to talk to you guys about something that's kind of been on my mind pretty hot and heavy lately. And it sort of stems from some things that have gone on in my dealership shop over the past few months. And that's sort of like what's the next step for a good technician? So what's happened is we've lost a few really good techs in the shop. We lost one guy to another brand, and we lost one guy to what I assume is starting his own tool truck or buying a tool franchise. I'm not sure of all the details, but either way, we lost 2 pretty top-level guys, and it sort of spawned this conversation that I had with my boss about maybe some of the reasons why, why good technicians sort of step out of the dealership and do something else. And it really comes down a lot to having like a fulfillment of your job. So as a technician, for the most part, my job is to fix cars and talk with customers. You know, for me personally, I also train a lot of the new guys, which is cool, but there comes a time when you look at what you do and you see either little fulfillment or really a little bit of opportunity for advancing your career. So one goal that I had all along from day one of being a tech was to be a master Volkswagen tech. I shouldn't say that from day one of being a tech. It was really when I started working with Volkswagen. I knew I wanted to be as certified and have the highest level of certification that I possibly could. And it took a really long time to get there, but that was my goal. So once that happened, I sort of rode the you achieve your goal high for maybe about a year or so, and then realized, there's really not much that can happen next if I wanted to stick with the dealership and the brand. Volkswagen since had the e-Golf certification, but since we won't get the e-Golf for a while in my state, that's not really an option. So anyway, my boss and I are having this conversation, and we're looking at all the things that happen with a technician. You start out, you learn to fix cars, you achieve the highest level that you can achieve, and then you just do that. Now, personally, you can get better at fixing cars. You can always be better at fixing cars. But I feel like if you stay in the dealership world, you're sort of stuck. Now, there's things that you can do that'll pull you out of the shop, like be a shop foreman in a sense. A lot of shop foremans don't work in the shop full time. You could step out and be a service advisor, which basically is just the punching bag of the dealership. They get it from all ends, and I do not envy their situation. Or you could be a service manager, which has its benefits financially, but again, it's pretty much along that same service advisor line where you get sort of punched in the face all the time. And I thought about doing all of that, but the more I see of what they have to deal with, really the less I like that idea. But beyond that, both dealerships for the most part and brands for the most part don't really put much into getting a technician to the next level. I guess it's because they don't really know what the next level is. So for me personally, I don't know that there is a next level at the dealership. Now again, this isn't me being really arrogant and saying I can't get better at fixing cars, because that's not it at all. I can always get better at fixing cars, but what would be the next step for me? It would just be keep on rocking and rolling with what I do. The dealership doesn't really offer any type of advanced training or outside of the box sort of training. They say it's up to each individual dealership to decide how to train their technicians. So when you train a technician, you have training from the manufacturer. So I would have Volkswagen training. And that comes in instructor-led class forms, that comes in online training, and I guess that's really it. And they used to do books, but I don't think they send the books out anymore. But after that, there's nothing. That's it. We stop training our technicians. And you could see that a technician that does it for 6, 7, 8 years, that either is so far away from getting all the classes they need to be a master tech, or has gotten that, they're basically stuck at the same level. There's nothing in the dealership left for them. So what happens? Well, they change brands. Now you basically restart. You know, you might start at the bottom level of that brand, but hey, it's a new brand, it's exciting. You know, one of the guys we lost to Tesla, and man, what an awesome brand to work for, and has such a cool feel, and it's new and it's fresh, and you know, that sort of honeymoon period may wear off, but man, talk about being a fun ride while you're in it. You can also move up, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, to, you know, I think it would be more of an air quote move up to being a service advisor. Or a service manager, and that again has its pros, its cons. Service managers probably make really good money, but again, you become sort of the punching bag for the dealership. I know a couple of service manager friends of mine really are the punching bag of the entire dealership, because you get it from customers, technicians, service advisors, even the sales department likes to beat up on the service department from time to time. Or you can move into the aftermarket and maybe work at an independent shop. You know, in my case, it would probably, if I moved into an independent world, it would probably be more in the European performance or European service type realm. I posted that Eurowise is hiring the other day, by the way, guys. If you're interested in the Charlotte area, those are definitely the go-to guys, but it's a little bit far of a drive for me. The other option is getting out of the automotive industry altogether, and I think that's what a lot of guys do. You know, this industry really does burn you out pretty hard, depending on where you're at in the automotive world. You know, you either get burned out because you don't do enough work to keep motivated and keep making a paycheck, or you're, you know, just throttled all day long and do nothing but go from bell to bell. And while the paychecks are good, it's really easy to get burned out. This job can be pretty difficult on your body and on your mind, and the longer you do it, the more you really do feel that. I don't blame a lot of guys for wanting to really just get out of the industry, at least at the technician level. Then there's the guys that do nothing and just sort of ride the, you know, the dealership time until they can't anymore, and then, you know, you see them either get let go because at that point they probably make too much money, and you can bring in 2 or 3 younger guys and have them do, you know, what on the surface is the same job for overall less pay. So I guess that just kind of brings me around to what's the solution? Well, you know, I don't know. I really don't know what the solution is. I don't know if manufacturers can sort of shift the dynamic on what their view of a technician is, and really evaluate how much they put into each technician, and really want to ramp that up. You know, if I went to Volkswagen or to my dealership and said, look, I want to move up to the next level, their very first question to me would be, okay, Charles, what's the next level? And then I would have a really stupid look on my face because I don't have any idea. You know, I got some ideas on what would be cool to do, but it's not really like the next level or anything like that. It's just, you know, hey, here's this really cool project that I think would be fun to work on, or you know, we could sort of change this a little bit and that might be cool. And, you know, there's always that mindset, I feel like, that as a tech, you're sort of at the bottom of the barrel. You know, you in the detail department are pretty much the bottom of the barrel. And I think a lot of manufacturers, and really in the dealership level too, they look at a technician as nothing more than a glorified oil changer or just an oil changer. And that's really too bad. There's a lot of razor sharp guys out there that could be doing anything that they want, and they chose to fix cars. They don't feel like they're stuck fixing cars. You know, that's just what they chose to do. And usually those are the guys that wind up moving on to, you know, either the aftermarket or doing their own thing, opening their own shop. But this is, again, one of those that I'd really love your opinion. What's the next level for a tech? When a tech's burned out at the dealership level or sort of hit their peak at the dealership level, what do you guys think is the next best thing for them? Where do they go from there? And don't worry if you guys are one of my customers or anything like that. I'm not specifically talking about myself. It's just something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I don't have the answer for it, and I wish I did, but I don't. So anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, throw it a thumbs up on YouTube. I always appreciate that. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the blog, humblemechanic.com, and of course on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe on the blog or on YouTube as well. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. That's how the music goes. But Ben did a better job than me. That was just me talking. Okay. Bye, guys.